Hey everybody out there, this is Seto Kaiba from your Yu-Gi-Oh! Chat channel, and today for you guys I'm going to be profiling my Blackwing deck. I used to play Blackwings with one of my friends way back in middle school. We put our money together when they first came out and we built Blackwings, and that was back in the heyday of Blackwings, back when you had things like Dark Strike Fighter and things like Goyo Guardian and things of that nature. So we used to take that deck to tournaments and stuff like that and play the deck together, me and my friend, back in middle school. So I've been playing the deck for a long time. But I didn't rebuild the deck till this past summer after I took a trip to Otakon, and I just had a pretty much a renaissance of Blackwings. I was like, I want to build Blackwings again because they have so many good memories with the deck. So I rebuilt Blackwings just for fun, and I really like playing Blackwings, and I'll go over the deck and my deck choices as I go through the deck profile, guys. So let's get started on this deck profile, guys. So, first off, guys, I have my 3 Blackwing Shura and your 3 Blackwing Bora. This is the heart and soul of the deck. This has been the heart and soul of the deck even when Whirlwind was at 1 and Kalut was at 1. This has always been the heart and soul of the deck, and by far, Shura is my favorite Blackwing. Next up, guys, you have your 3 Kaluts. It's actually funny to think that Kalut is finally coming back, is back at 3 now. It's actually been a year almost. This upcoming March, it'll be a year since Kalut's been back at 3. But 3 Kalut, 3 Bora, 3 Shura, that's the staple of the deck. And once in a while, I'm able to go Bora and Shura and just drop all 3 Kaluts at once from hand. I have done that on occasion, and it has won me games. Once in a blue moon, you do that. Next up is a little Tekken card that I'm trying out in the deck. I will explain why I use it and how it has synergy with the Blackwing deck. So first off, this is Crane here, guys. I think it came out in like the starter deck for 2013. But Crane is a level 3 Earth type monster that's a winged beast, and it can help you make exceeds and synchros. Okay. So it's a winged beast. It has synergy with the deck because it's a winged beast like all the other Blackwings, which means that you can, if it's necessary to do, activate Icarus Attack, which is by far the best trap that Blackwings have and winged beast monsters have, for that matter is. So if the worst case scenario happens, you can go normal summon the Crane and activate Icarus Attack as the trap if you set it already. So it has synergy with the deck being a winged beast. Now, it also, like I said, you may ask yourself, how many targets does Crane have? Well, we run 3 Kalut. I run 2 Blizzard as well, 2 Blizzard of the Far North. So that right there is for 5 targets off the bat. Plus, I run 1 Gale because Gale's at 1. So that means I have a total of, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 targets in total for Crane, plus another target I have in my deck for Crane. Not to mention is that Crane can target himself from grave. I believe he can. Yes, you can. So if you already use one Crane and you draw into another Crane, you can activate Crane to get another Crane from the graveyard and make a level 3 exceed. So this really adds exceeding and synchro, making the deck making the deck easier to be able to synchro for level 3 for exceed for level 3s, and synchro for more monsters. So that's why I run 3 Crane, guys. Next up, I run 2 Blizzards. Some people like running 2, some people like running 3, or some people just prefer running 1. I prefer just running 2, and it's another target for Crane. And it just helps out with the deck as a tuner. Blizzard of the Far North. Next up, I run 2 Sirocco. If Whirlwind ever came back to 2 or 3, I would probably drop this card down to 1 or 2. But as Whirlwind has not gone back to 2 or 3, I just run 2 Sirocco, and it doesn't seem to mess with the deck. If it's dead in hand, you can activate Allure of Darkness, so it comes in handy. Next up, I run 1 Whirlwind. Now, I've always loved Whirlwind, and I wish he would go back to 2 or 3. I thought he would possibly go back eventually. There's a lot more busted cards out there that are at 3, like JD, Big Eye, Dragosack, just to name a few. And Whirlwind's at 1. I don't know if Konami just doesn't like Whirlwind. I know back in the day when Whirlwind first came out and Stardust was a very good synchro monster, that people used to nickname this card the Stardust Killer because you really activate Whirlwind's effect and he could run over Stardust. And Konami didn't like, I guess, the idea that their Synchro, their poster child for synchros, was getting overrun by a little purple bird or blue bird, whatever color he is. So maybe that's one of the reasons why he stayed at 1, but I think he can go back to 2 and really not have a big effect on the game. So 1 Whirlwind, and next up we have 1 Blackwing Zephyros the Elite. I just run 1. You have a whole bunch of ways you can activate his effect. You can bounce back Whirlwind. You can bounce back Fiendish Chain if you already used Fiendish Chain and it wasn't destroyed. So you can reuse your Fiendish Chains and just bounce back Whirlwind. So 1 Zephyros the Elite works well with the deck. Now next up, I run 1 Blackwing. This is Blackwing is called Blackwing Gladys the Midnight Moon. Now, before you hate me for running this card, you'll notice that I did not add Blackwing Zephyros to the not Zephyros, Blackwing Vayu to the deck. I found Vayu to be dead in hand, and even though I had Allure of Darkness or cards of black feathers in hand, it just wasn't the same. You didn't want to draw Vayu. You didn't want to search for Vayu with Black Whirlwind. It just really wasn't doing it for me, just being able to synchro for a level 5 monster. So what I did is I added Blackwing Gladys the Midnight Moon to the deck. What is Gladys' effect, you may ask? First off, if you have 1 Blackwing monster on the field, you can special summon Gladys from your hand. Also, Gladys cannot be destroyed once per battle phase. So if they attack Gladys, if they attack Gladys with whatever monster, it can't be destroyed the first time. They have to attack Gladys twice for Gladys to get destroyed. So it adds some protection and defense to the Blackwing deck. Also, it's level 3, so it has synergy with Crane. If this card's engraved, I can use Crane and bring it back and make it level 3 exceed. Also, pretty much it comes in handy if you have bad Blackwing hands. You're not always guaranteed to always get opening up a good Blackwing monster and a Whirlwind. So if I just got the only Blackwing I got in hand was a Blackwing, Zephyros, or Blackwing, not a Zephyros, but like a Whirlwind or a Blackwing, Blackwing of the Far North. Blizzard, if you got Blizzard or Whirlwind, and that was the only Blackwing you got in your hand, and you got a Whirlwind, or you just got those, a Whirlwind or a Blizzard and just this, you can make a Synchro monster if you want to. You can set this in defensive mode, and just, it doesn't die, so you can use it for something else the next turn. So it comes in handy. I suggest that if you want to take Vayu out of the deck and run, Gladys, because it does come in handy, I find out. It's more useful than Vayu. Next up, I won 1 Dad, 1 Dark Arm Dragon. You have a lot of graveyard manipulation with the deck, with Crane, with Blizzard, and stuff of that nature, so you're able to get Dad out a lot more easier. So that's why I won 1 Dad still. Next up, you definitely won 3 Whirlwinds. It's the heart and soul of the deck. It's another piece of the puzzle, heart and soul of the deck. If you open this and Shura or Bora, you got a good chance of winning, especially if you open Shura and you have a Blackwing Whirlwind. It just helps you win the game. And to search out Blackwing Whirlwind, because you're not always going to get Whirlwind in opening hand, I run 3 Pot of Dualities. You may ask yourself, well, the deck does special summon, it does synchro, it does exceed. Why would you run 3 Pot of Dualities? It just helps with the consistency of the deck, and if it's in hand and you're going to do a special summoning, you can just save it for next turn. So it comes in handy with me. It comes in handy for me, and it helps make the deck more consistent. Next up, I run 2 MSTs. Just comes in handy. For my one-off spells, I run 1 Dark Hole, 1 Dark Eruption, and 1 Allure of Darkness. Like I stated before, I do not run cards of black feathers, the Blackwing, I guess you could say Allure of Darkness, for the fact that I don't like banishing Blackwings from my hand. I really don't like that. So I just run 1 Allure of Darkness. It's fine. I run Dark Eruption because I have a lot of targets and I can reuse a lot of good cards. So I can reuse Gladys. I can reuse Gladys if I want to. I can reuse Blizzard. I can reuse Gale. I can reuse Kalut. There's a whole bunch of targets for this, and it really comes in handy. And Dark Hole just because it's a good staple spell card. Next up, the best trap card in the deck. I run 3 Icarus Attack. The best trap card, great trap card in the deck, and it really helps the deck out. I run 2 Mirror Forces, just it's a good trap card. Then 2 Fiendish Chains, comes in handy a lot. And finally, thanks to the TCG ban list, like I always say, 1 Compulse and 1 Bottomless Trap Hole to round off the deck. For the extra deck, it's personal preference what you want to run. This is just what I put together and what I've been using lately and what I used last night when I went to locals. But I use 149 Fortune Tune, really, really good with the deck, really helps out a lot with the deck, and it really comes out because the deck can make level 3s because of Crane, so it really comes in handy a lot. So 1 Fortune Tune, 1 Tim Temple, the drummer boy, really comes in handy, Daijin. 1 Leviathan Dragon just comes in handy. It's a beat stick for level 3s. 1 Gagagakawa Boy, because you sometimes do make level 4s and it can help. Pappy, Black Ship of Corn, and Maestro. All just generic level 4s. If you want to drop the level 4s and put more level 3s in or synchros in, be my guest. And definitely run this card. It's so good in the deck. Ice Beast Zephyros. You can run 2 if you want to. I just prefer 1. For my synchros now, I won 1 Black Arm Master. If Whirlwind ever went back to 2 or 3, I would run more of this guy, but he comes in handy at 1. 1 Gaia, the Force of Earth, just because I like a normal vanilla beat stick. It comes in handy. 1 HTMS Psychic Behemoth as a level 6 target. Another Black Arm Winged comes in handy. I run 2 of those, 2 Black Arm Winged. For the last, my 2 level 5s, I won 1 Magical Android. I really couldn't come up with enough level 5, so I ran Allied Justice Cataster and Magical Android. If you want to run 2 Allied Justice Cataster, go right ahead. There's just not really a lot of good level 5 synchros right now in the game, so that's why I just run those 2. Beat Stick can give me life points back, just it's Cataster, need I say more. So guys, that is my Blackwing deck. I hope you guys enjoyed this deck profile. Please leave me some comments, some criticism. I always like constructive criticism on my decks so I can make them better. But that is my Blackwing deck. I've tried it out. I've play tested it with this deck online in real life since the new format's out. And it seems to work well, and it works very well for me. It's a fun deck to play, and it has good memories for me. So until next time, guys, take care, have fun dueling, good luck dueling, and I'll see you guys next time. Seto Kaiba, I'm out of here, guys.